This is my home. This is my kitchen. This is my family. Tilly. Jack. Holly. Megan. And of course, my wife Tana.
You may think you're the busiest person in the world, but over this series, I'm going to prove it's still possible to cook stunning food at home. My rules are simple. Home cooking has to be easy. It's got to be fast. It's got to be delicious. So, if you think you can't cook amazing food at home, think again. These are the only recipes you'll ever need.
Breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Packed full of sumptuous, homely dishes, today's all about comfort food. I think every home cook needs recipes that don't just taste delicious, but to satisfy the soul too. The type of food that wraps its arms around you and gives you big hugs. So, when you want to give your family and friends a big serving of love, here's my ultimate comfort food.
Dishes guaranteed to make you feel cosy, even on the coldest of days. First up, a breakfast that will bring you a warm glow in the morning. My spiced baked porridge.
Perfect for a big comfort family breakfast.
For lunch, I'm pulling out all the stops with a fantastic twist on one of Britain's favourite comfort dishes. Ginger beer battered fish with chilli minted mushy peas.
If you're going to do it properly.
For dinner, my youngest daughter Tilly is in the kitchen and we share the secret ingredient in every comfort food dish. Happy memories.
Did you like to help Nan make your hot pot when she made them for you?
Always.
Sausage hot pot with beetroot and potato gratins on the menu. For dessert, spiced apple compote.
Tilly, we're on for a treat.
This is my ultimate comfort food, breakfast, lunch and dinner. First up, it's breakfast, my spiced baked porridge.
Absolutely love it. Why? I grew up with it. There's something very Scottish about porridge. It's that kind of sort of great start to the day. My father used to say, porridge needs salt and salt only. It separates the men from the boys. Didn't really like it. He always insisted salt puts hairs on you. I used to sneak a couple of sugar lumps from cafes and put them in my porridge without him watching.
These days, my porridge has much more flavour than just salt. It's packed with fruit, nuts and spices. Add vanilla seeds to your porridge oats or oatmeal.
Really important just to rub the vanilla through the oatmeal. Makes it nice and fragrant. Now, a little teaspoon of cinnamon makes it spicier, and then nutmeg. Already, that smells incredible. I quite like making this up a week at a time, and Jack absolutely loves it. Now, whole almonds. Now, if you don't like that kind of crunch running through the porridge, you can chop these up or blend them to a powder, but I quite like the sort of texture. Hazelnuts, incredibly good, and a really nice crunch. Keep your vanilla pod in there as well. That just gives it even more lift, and of course, once it's baked, just pull it out.
Instead of sugar, I'm adding sweetness with fruit, fresh pears and raisins.
Cranberries are great as well. Chopped apricots as well, dried apricots in there. Dried mango. I love dried fruit.
Next, pour in a pint of milk and mix.
This can be done the night before, left in the fridge, and then, a couple of minutes before you go to bake it, add your cream. Now, into your dish. It looks quite liquid, but by the time it bakes, it has this really nice, rich crust on top. And then, just a nice little nutmeg on top.
Now, bake at 180 for 30 to 35 minutes. Then take the porridge out, sprinkle on demerara sugar and grill to create a sweet golden crust.
And sort of glaze on top. Beautiful. Literally for 3 to 4 minutes. Look at that. That makes me feel proud to be Scottish because it's perfect for a big comfort family breakfast. It's rich, it's sumptuous, and it's just a humble oatmeal. Phenomenal, especially in the winter.
My spice-baked porridge with all those nuts and fruit, it's a bowl full of love to start the day.
Next, I'm showing you how to cook the comfort food I crave. But first, here's a closer look at some of the key ingredients you'll need to make them.
My ultimate comfort food has to be sausage. I grew up on the classic British banger, made with ground pork, salt, pepper, spices and breadcrumbs. And I'm using these ones for dinner. The general rule with sausage, the higher the meat content, the better they'll taste. For my ultimate lunch, I'm frying fish, so you'll need an oil you can get to a high temperature. Here are the different oils you can use. Groundnut oil, it's made from peanuts and it's used a lot in Southeast Asian cooking. Rapeseed, made from those yellow flowering crops. This has the lowest saturated fat content of any oil and has a lovely delicate flavour. Sunflower oil, made from sunflower seeds, is mildly nutty. A good cheap all-rounder with a neutral flavour is vegetable oil, which is the blend of oils like corn, soybean and sunflower. Apples were my favourite fruit growing up. Originally came from China, but today in Britain, we grow over 2,000 different types. The most popular eating apples in the UK are Braeburn and Gala, but don't miss out on some of the older types like the sweet nutty russets and fragrant coxes. When it comes to cooking apples, it's got to be a sharp Bramley, which I'm using as part of my compote for lunch.
You know that feeling when you really want a particular dish and nothing else will do? That's comfort food. My ultimate comforting lunch has to be fish with peas. I've loved it ever since I was a kid, and to make it even more delicious, I've given it a few modern tweaks.
For my ultimate fish, I'm doing the best, crunchiest, lightest batter imaginable with a hint of ginger. To go with it, chili minted mushy peas.
In order to make sure that the batter stays nice and crispy and the fish stays nice and firm, the secret is to season the fish. Salt and pepper. That will draw out the moisture and that will keep the fish really nice and firm.
Put it in the fridge for around 10 minutes to let the seasoning work its magic.
Now, the batter. As always, when making any batter, always sieve the flour. I want a bit of heat in the batter, so a nice teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Season the flour, salt and pepper. And then 2 teaspoons of baking powder. This almost lightens the load with the batter. Now, ginger beer. It gives that batter the sort of unique, spicy, individual flavour. It's delicious with the fish. And a nice tablespoon of oil. Just basic vegetable oil gives it a nice sheen. Give that a good mix. You really want it. Almost like the consistency of double cream. Too thin, and the batter runs off, especially when it hits the fryer. Too thick, and it actually prevents the fish from getting cooked. So you've got to get it to just that sort of double cream texture.
Let it rest for as long as possible to give you an even textured batter. Now, the season should have worked its magic and drawn out the excess moisture from the fish. So it's on to the next stage.
Fish has gone slightly firmer. Perfect for frying.
Start by coating the fish in flour seasoned with pepper.
Pat that nice and dry into your hands so you haven't got any excess flour. The flour stops the batter from running off the fish. I'm just going to check to see if my oil's ready by putting a little touch of batter into the fryer. You see it bubbling straight to the very top. That tells you that the oil is ready. Never really ever fill the pan above halfway. If the oil starts to get too hot, first thing you do, turn off the gas. Second thing, add some oil into it to cool it down. Hold the fish by the corner, literally put it in, and roll it round.
Then gently slap the fish on the sides of the bowl to get rid of excess batter.
Now, in and lay away. And just gently drop it in. Twist your pan. That stops it from sticking at the bottom. Oil should be gently sort of bubbling away. But notice as we're frying the fish, there's no spitting of any water from the fish.
Fry the fish for 3 to 5 minutes, gently turning halfway through. Once the batter's golden and crisp, it's ready.
And look, they look stunning. It's like these big, crispy pillows of beautifully textured cod.
Leave the fish to rest on a kitchen towel to blot excess oil. Meanwhile, it's quick and easy chili minted mushy peas.
Now, the mushy peas, a little teaspoon of olive oil and a nice knob of butter into the pan. Shallot, finely chopped. That adds a bit of sweetness to the peas. Shallots into the pan. Chili. Peas are delicious. When you eat peas and they're slightly spicy, they're even better. Garlic in the peas. Sweat off the chili, the garlic and the shallots.
Before the peas join those spices, simply blanch in salted boiling water, infused with their perfect partner. Fresh mint, stalks and all.
And then put your frozen peas in. Now, once the peas have gone nice and soft, drain them. Now, take off the stalks and then add your peas to the shallots. I love that sound. Mix all that chili and garlic in there. A little seasoning. Finishing the frozen peas off like this. Absolutely delicious. Onto your board, crush. Now, you cannot beat crushed, delicious peas. Look at that. Those peas, it's incredible.
Top with chopped mint. Chili minted mushy peas, so simple and perfect with easy ginger beer battered fish.
A nice spicy, crispy batter. And that just reaffirms the importance of comfort food. If you're going to do it properly. Oh.
My spicy twist is proof you can update a comforting classic. And the best way to eat this is with crispy buttered sauté potatoes cooked with garlic, rosemary and thyme. To take this happy food to a whole new level. Coming up, it's dinner time, and my youngest daughter Tilly and I are cooking up food to make your mouth and eyes water.
Let me give you a little taste of that.
It's a bit sour. Thanks for the warning.
As I give my family a taste of the comfort food of my childhood.
When I was your age, guys, Nanny was making this for me.
And in those days, you would ride to school on dinosaurs.
Excuse me, I'm not that old. No question about it. The best comfort food is definitely homemade. Wonderful smells filling the kitchen, delicious, freshly cooked food, and a big side order of nostalgia. For me, fantastic stews, hot pots and puddings will always hit the mark and remind me of my mum. That's why I love them. My ultimate comforting dinner is a real favourite in our house, and I hope it will always remind my kids of me.
And joining me in the kitchen to cook the comfort food of my childhood is my youngest daughter, Tilly. My ultimate comfort food dinner is a stunning sausage hot pot, which we'll serve with a gorgeous potato and beetroot gratin.
Now,
I love hot pot.
you love hot pot? And you love sausages, right?
Yeah.
What do you enjoy most about sausages?
I just love having them with the baked beans sometimes.
With baked beans sometimes. These are little button mushrooms, OK? You just take them into there like that and keep them whole and cut them into quarters, please. Now, the important thing about cooking sausages is they need a bit of colour, right? No colour?
No flavour.
Exactly. Get the pan nice and hot. How was school today?
School was good, thanks. We got to go out and make snowmen.
Sausages in. OK. Butter and mushrooms in there, please, my darling. See? Now, I want you to watch your fingers, but you know how to slice onions, right?
Definitely.
Off you go, darling. Now, sausages are getting lots of colour, because this is going to cook slowly, and it's sort of Daddy's version of the kind of hot pot. You know the one Nanny used to make for me?
Yeah.
Once you've got the colour on them, and take them out to rest, OK? A little knob of butter, OK? Into the pan. Now, it looks like a lot of onions, right?
Yeah.
As they start sweating down, they caramelise. So that'll go down by half. Give that a little fry. OK? Salt in. I want you to put a nice tablespoon of brown sugar in there. That gets them really nice and dark. Now, get your thyme in. Pick off all the little buds. That will get the onions packed with flavour. That
smells nice.
Mushrooms in, give them a nice little stir.
Did you like to help Nan make your hot pot when she made them for you?
I used to always help Nan make the hot pot. Always.
Now, my mum would never have used this, but aged balsamic vinegar brings out the flavour of the onions.
Right, now look at our onions. Look, beautifully caramelised.
Wow.
The vinegar's given that nice sort of gloss. I'm going to put my sausages back in here now. From there, some red wine. Red wine in. Got the flavour underneath there going into the sausages now. The sausages are going to release all that flavour inside as well. Look at the colour of that. Does that look beautiful?
And the smell.
And it's still not cooked yet. Up to the boil. Really important to boil it here because it won't boil in the oven. 170 in the oven, literally 18 to 20 minutes. In she goes. Nice.
To go with my hot pot, rich, golden, creamy potato gratin. It's a true comfort food classic, and I'm adding a delicious twist, beetroot. Start by gently heating double cream. Then peel and thinly slice potatoes and cook beetroot. Next, rub garlic around the edge of your dish to thoroughly season with a glorious flavour. Then grease with a good layer of butter. Arrange alternate layers of potato and beetroot, seasoning in between. End with a neat layer of potatoes and pour the hot cream over the top. Bake in a preheated oven for an hour or until the potatoes are tender. Potato and beetroot gratin are bubbling beauty of a comfort food dish. Now for the apple compote.
What we need to do first is to get these peeled and sliced. I get my pan on to get nice and hot. Now, let me give you a little taste of that.
It's a bit sour.
Isn't it?
Thanks for the warning. Whoa.
So, whoa.
Nearly blew my head off.
They're incredibly acidic, OK? And you need to cook them. Those wonderful red apples you've got are called Braeburns. What other apples do you know? Green ones, what are they called?
I'm not too sure what the green ones are.
Another word for your nan.
Grandma's?
No.
Red.
No.
Pink lady apples.
No. Granny Smith.
Granny Smith apples.
That's right. What we're going to do is cook the cooking apples and the eating apples together.
I love the combination of the tartness from the Bramley cooking apple with the sweetness of the Braeburn.
Get the pan nice and hot and sprinkle the bottom of the pan with caster sugar. 3 or 4 nice slices of fresh ginger and 3 little cinnamon sticks. I want you to remember that because we're going to look for them, OK? Because once we've used them and they've worked their magic, I need to pull them out. See all the sugar dissolving?
Definitely.
Now, we just let that go a little bit darker, OK? And then we place our apples in.
Very quick.
Doesn't it? Give that a nice little toss, OK?
A nice golden colour.
Cinnamon in, ginger in. So, we're cooking down the apples. Butter in.
Gently cook until the apples soften, then take off the heat.
And they go into there.
What's that coming out, Dad?
So that is a little bit of the puree. I'll show you we can do that in a minute. How many ginger?
4.
4 ginger.
And 3 cinnamon.
3 cinnamon. Out with the cinnamon.
I've got
And the ginger?
2 gingers.
And we take a spoon of apples. Put them in. Bottom.
Smells so nice.
How nice does that look? See the colour of the apples? Let's put these in the fridge to get nice and cold.
That's the comfort sorted. Easy. Now, a simple creamy whip to crown the top.
If you separate the egg whites into there for Daddy. Right, egg whites are in.
Egg whites are
Yolks are
in.
separate. Off you go, Daddy. And I'll sprinkle the sugar in, and then you turn up the speed. Good girl. Good job, please. Now let's see if you've got a really nice stiff peak. So you lift them up. Now that is what I call a nice stiff peak. Well done.
Not bad, not bad.
Next, in a separate bowl, whip double cream until stiff.
Nice and slowly. So cream whips so much quicker.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
That by hand, Dad.
We're going to put some delicious lemon zest, which will make the cream so much better.
Then sweeten it up with leftover caramelly compote puree.
And you mix that in nice and carefully. So it's like this apple butterscotch.
Now, to make the cream even lighter, fold in those whisked egg whites and sugar.
Egg whites into the cream. Just nicely fold that in. So we bring your glasses back out. Manage the glasses?
Yep.
Good girl. Tilly, we're on for a treat. Open up the piping bag. Now, twist the end. Now, you could spoon this in, but I want to just give a nice little lift.
It also gives it a nice pattern.
Lemon on top. Back in the fridge. The beetroot and potato gratin. Is that lovely?
That's lovely.
And sausages.
Ooh.
Finish with the flat leaf parsley. Now, look at those two beauties. It doesn't get any more comforting than that, does it? For one of the best hot pots ever. Tilly, that looks amazing.
I know.
Well done.
This is my ultimate comfort food dinner. Sausage hot pot with potato and beetroot gratin, followed by apple compote. Food with guaranteed feel-good factor.
Mommy, Jack, Holly, Megan.
Oof. Doesn't it?
It smells amazing.
Jack, tasty?
Delicious. One of my favourites. It's so tasty, I love it. It's so good. I love the mushrooms as well.
That is so nice and so simple.
When I was your age, guys, Nanny was making this for me. In those days, the sausages weren't as fat.
And in those days, you would ride to school on dinosaurs.
Excuse me, I'm not that old.
To collect selected recipes from the show, go to my scrapbook at channel4.com/Gordon. Next time, Tilly joins me in making my ultimate picnic fare.
Marshmallow,
Your
my
favourite.
favourite.
3 amazing movable feasts to keep you energised for al fresco fun. Morning, noon and night.
It's so good.
Turning a 4x4 into a cocktail bar tonight. Come on, we've all thought about it. George Clark's Amazing Spaces, 8 o'clock. Right, one course down, we're off for a spotter lunch with Jamie next.